Hey guys, I was just trying to peel the glue off this and I accidentally tore it. That could be stuck to my head and pushed back down, especially since that would be stuck to the back half and then I would lower that part with its own glue. But I'm not going to do that. I've got a new one, so I'll use that. Now I just received delivery of Walker Tape Extreme Hold, as opposed to Ultra Hold, their main glue. Now if we look at the ingredients here, Extreme Hold, so I don't know how to do the focusing on an iPhone, it doesn't really understand autofocus really very well. Ethyl acetate is the only ingredient in this one, whereas this one, the ingredients are as follows. Acrylic adhesive isopropyl ethyl acetate, the one ingredient in this, and can you read that? Herbivore taurine. I can't read that, it's too small. My eyes aren't good enough. So this is the same as this without those other three or four ingredients, okay? Having this 1, 2, 3 system of maximum hold, maximum wear. I don't know what maximum wear means. I really don't know what maximum wear means. Does it mean maximum hold? Maximum wear? They're both the same. This one's $60 a bottle and this one's $40 a bottle. It's 1.5 times the price of the other one. So if they didn't need all those other ingredients in there, why did they do that? This bottle also seems to be clouded over. I don't know if that's just the plastic being exposed to sunshine or something, because this one doesn't have it. Here's the Ultra Hold I opened earlier. It's been opened about twice, I think. You can see the runniness there, it's about as good as new. This one, opening it for the first time ever. Same amount of runniness from what I can see. Now I'm sweating like a pedophile at a Wiggles concert at the moment, so there's a friend from school who told me that one. But I'm going to shave off these hairs, and I was thinking of doing a 50-50 split, see which one copes better with sweat. $60 versus $40. This one is pure ethyl acetate, potentially unhealthy, I don't know. And this one's been mixed with all the 4 other ingredients. But, I don't know. I don't really want to waste this one completely, but I will. I'll use it all in one go. I'll need the fan, I'll need to shave this off, and I'll need a shower. Okay, the first thing I looked for in this new bottle, as opposed to the Ultra Hold bottle, was did they take my advice, or common sense's advice, and make the brush longer so that when you have it fully up and in use, the brush actually could touch the bottle, the bottom of the bottle, to get to the last bit of glue when you're running out. Because practically speaking, that's about as low as you're going to get, right? And everything underneath that point is inaccessible. Once you turn it on its side and have it all going up the stem, then you've got to brush it on with the stem instead of the brush. And I looked at this one, and with the lid on, sealed down completely, it's even shorter. They've actually made it shorter. So the brush went fully out, and now in use, right? Only gets to there instead. They've still kept smothering this with a label that blocks your entire view of everything except for that one slit. Alright. Just gotta make sure my head is actually dry, no sweat coming through. I figured out an experiment of putting these, a whole bunch of them, on the tiles in the shower and just running cold water at them with a weight hanging down, and see if the cold water actually pulled, you know, at the hairpiece because it lost its stick. I just know, trust me. I don't actually just know, I do know though. If there was just water running on it with Ultra Hold, and that there was a bit of a weight hanging on their hairs over an 8-hour period, they wouldn't, if the water wasn't there, and if the water was there, the weight wouldn't pull it off. Except the only thing would be the temperature of the room. If we put a heater in the shower and just heated that room up, it would definitely start to peel. I want to see which one peels first, this one or that one or whatever. You'd have the same amount of weight and dragging on the same amount of hairs, hopefully, ideally. And then we could practice using a corrugated front and see if that had more hold to it. So we'd go convex shape hairs, concave shape hairs, which would obviously be the strongest because you've got these bits that need to fall. If there's being tugged happening there, but these bits are being supported all the way across. Like if my hairpiece was like that shape, it'd be very hard to lift off, right? Clearly. Rather than, like, if it was just the thinnest thing possible, that's gonna be the easiest thing. That's a bit harder, but that is, you've really got to rip off at least one of these sides to get it off. You understand what I'm saying? Let's have a look at this stuff. Just want to remove any fingerprints, I guess. So the entire bottle at the top has been exposed to some kind of heat that made the plastic less transparent. Unless I've got a white. No, it looks like the plastic's just simply been left out in the sun. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure the stem isn't going to be dripping all over the place. Smells a little bit different. I wouldn't recommend you put your nose right over it because sniffing glue can lead to braid damage apparently. Doesn't make my eyes water or anything though. It does smell a bit more chemically, and it's less like that. The fact that just broke off, that string of glue just broke off before it became a giant piece of mozzarella, is also something different. It seems like the mozzarella factor in this glue is less than Ultra Hold so far, but it is brand new and has never really been exposed to air before. So we'll see if that changes over time. We'll also be able to experiment to see how it is getting that out of hairs. And also we need to know if this thing's gonna dry out if the lid's been off for like 10 minutes, because it doesn't have those other ingredients in the bottle, I guess. Okay, let's see it coming up off the head. It's got some mozzarella to it, but it breaks off so much more easily than the Ultra Hold. So in terms of ease of application, Extreme at the moment, now that it's brand new and hasn't been dried out at all, seems to be my preferred method compared to Ultra Hold at the moment, because it's a lot less stringy. Extreme Hold seems to be less stringy than Ultra Hold. And it feels like it's drying faster. I don't know if that's true. I'll still wait 15 minutes. There are directions for use, but they're so small for my eyes. Can't. Caution, close cap tightly, do not breathe fumes, store below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Test on small area before use. Flammable, waterproof. Professional use only. Oh, okay, on the side it says average industry hold times. 1 is daily wear, 1 to 7 days. 2 is extended wear, 1 to 2 weeks. And maximum wear is, oh, I don't know, 3 to, I can't read that fucking writing, it's too small. Even the iPhone camera can't read it. Did my best. Was it probably 3 to 5 weeks? Directions. Before bonding, prepare skin with 99% alcohol and Max Hold Sport. So I didn't put Max Hold Sport on. This is Max Hold Sport. That's supposed to prevent you from sweating. I've stopped using it. It's the same as kind of no sweat. But that's from a different company. That's from the Pro Touch company. That's a competitor to Walker Tape. So they've suggested using the alcohol to dry your skin, keep it clean, and put some of that on to prevent sweating from underneath. Okay? Then apply 2 thin layers of adhesive to the skin or base and blow dry until very tacky. Next, press the hair system onto the skin and hold firmly for 10 seconds. Do not swim, work out, or shampoo for at least 24 hours. They're the directions. This one, the directions here. It says press firmly onto the skin for 10 seconds. I never do that bit. Does that mean that's the reason all my hair pieces fail? I don't think so. Also, they said 2 layers. That's just 1. 2 thin layers. I'll let this dry and I'll be back. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. it seems to be more like hard plastic, these little chunks here that I'm pulling out, rather than being soft, malleable, stretchy pieces of plastic. I don't know if there's glue in that hair or if it's a grey hair. Well, I've also got to tell you this, like the way I just described that, this is different. When I press on this, there is absolutely no stick to it whatsoever. Like, there's no stick, it's not tacky or anything, it's just, tack is non-existent. It's absolutely, there's no stick. So, this will be interesting. Maybe I do need the second layer. But why would a second layer make that more sticky? I can feel there's absolutely no stick to that whatsoever. Seriously. That's very strange. These directions say blow dry until very tacky. Then apply 2 thin layers of adhesive to the skin or lace or base and blow dry until very tacky. Blow dry until very tacky. I'm just thinking this through in my head. The problem with Ultra Hold, right, is that it melts and it peels up. Because it has such a, it melts at room temperature. So potentially, if I do blow dry this and heat this up so that it's hot and melted on my head, when it hardens, yeah, this seems to be actually a good idea. So at the moment I can feel this might not do the job, spraying that on and then putting the hairpiece in. You could then say it was my fault, it failed because of that. I didn't do what it said. And at the moment, I can feel that's 2 layers though. That sounds like they wanted to get it thick to squeeze in through the lace. It doesn't say anything about only for lace units though. All right. I don't know if I've got a hairdryer now. I don't think I've got a hairdryer. Let me just check, I'll just check. Okay, I don't have a hairdryer here. My eyes simply cannot read that. To see if that one says anything about a hairdryer too. I don't think it would ask for a hairdryer because that's absolutely tacky all the time, even after 15 minutes. At the moment, this has got no tack whatsoever. Okay, so this isn't going to be a proper test without a hairdryer. But that actually gives me some hope. The logic of that. Melting it while it's being pressed, and then my head will never get as hot as a hairdryer melting glue on my head. So in the meantime, I'm just going to try and hopefully this will make it a bit tacky. Just from simply melting the glue, but I can feel there's no stick whatsoever. Okay, so by the end of this video you should know. It shouldn't take a few days to know whether or not this has any stick to it. I think within about 2 minutes we'll know for sure whether or not the hairdryer part of it is absolutely essential. I do have a foot heater though, which would melt the glue. I'm assuming, just from the feel of it, that there's not going to be any stick. Well, actually there is some stick, just from using that alcohol. That will need to be cut up to there. Well, I'll do that this time, I will. No, I won't. It's too hard. So at present, it feels like there is some stick, okay? Just by using the alcohol spray. Guess. No, I won't. I'll do it after. Okay, once again, we're going to apply this. It says to the skin or base. Okay, so when it says base, it means poly, not lace. You wouldn't apply this directly to lace. It would go through and make the hairs stick together. Okay. It's kind of exciting thinking there is some logic behind this stuff solidifying and not melting at 25 degrees, which is, what's that? I keep forgetting. I think 20 is 70 Fahrenheit. I think 25 Celsius is 80 Fahrenheit. Yeah, so ultra hold basically melts at, well, it's always tacky. This is not even tacky when it's dry, which is amazing. Which means that at normal room temperature, this won't be wet or tacky, which is awesome. It gives me a lot of hope. It also makes me wonder, why did Ultra Hold have those other ingredients added, which makes it, one, a lot more stringy, and two, a lot more prone to melting. This could be the answer. It's expensive, $60 a bottle. Australian, I don't know what that means in America or something. Or England, the pounds. And what's the currency in India? And Germans don't use marks anymore. I think they use euros now. I'm mentioning those four countries because, and Canada, and Australia, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars. These countries are in my top 5 analytics on YouTube of the countries of viewers like you. And also I found out that 40% of you are between the ages of 25 and 34. Which makes sense because that's the age you'd start freaking out about going bald. You need answers now. I'm 42. I started doing this in 2011 when I was 9 years younger, so that made me 33. Yeah, there's a much less stringiness. That mozzarella factor doesn't really exist with this, so it's a lot easier to apply than ultra hold. Brushing back over a bit that you've already done, it's sort of, it doesn't want to glide over it anymore. It's already sort of dried too quickly. I just want to make sure there are no little air holes at the front. Another thing is the brush is starting to dry out from the glue, which is interesting. And look at that, there's no drip, even though this is, see, I get the feeling that if I don't put that brush back in there, it'll just dry out and go harder. So I can see why they would have initially thought it's like interesting to put those extra ingredients in here, because this stuff is probably gonna go crunchy and dry out simply from taking the lid off to do your hair and then putting the brush back in, which means I might need to buy smaller bottles, because that's probably a month or two supply there. And dipping would be a lot of air exposure. Now if this was ultra hold and I just grabbed that bit there, that would create a big stringy mess immediately. But this stuff just sort of breaks off like hardened plastic. It feels like it dried a lot quicker. But I'm gonna wait 15 minutes. Then I'm gonna press it down. This bit here is gonna be low, and later on I'm gonna have to lift it and cut that bit out, because that's a good height there. So that bit there is going to have to be cut out when that's placed down. Oh, I can actually read it now. Before bonding, prepare skin with 99% alcohol and max hold sport. Then apply 2 thin layers of adhesive to the skin or base and blow dry until very tacky. Next, press the hair system onto the skin and hold firmly for 10 seconds. Do not swim, work out or shampoo for at least 24 hours. This one says, directions. Before bonding, prepare skin and base with 99% alcohol to remove residues. Then apply a thin layer of adhesive to the skin and base and blow dry until very tacky. Next, press the hair system onto the skin and hold firmly for 10 seconds. Same directions. I never knew that, said that, because it's microscopic and my glasses are required, I guess. So that's been drying for half an hour and absolutely no stick whatsoever. Strange. We'll see how it goes. I just hope it doesn't fall off my head while I'm walking down the street. Now, as you know, I'm going to cut that out later. Hold down firmly for 10 seconds. None of it's lifting up as I brush, which is good. The temperature in this room right now would be about 10 degrees Celsius, approximately 60 degrees, well, 50 degrees, 70 is 20, 15 is 60, 10 would be 50, about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. So it's cold enough that I don't have to worry about any glue melting, which is a bit of a shame because I can't see how this is going to react in the heat for this video right now. And that bit there, I'll remove a bit later on, not right now. Any bits where the hairs are sort of sticking together is where I accidentally painted the glue too far up. So this is just my first impressions of Orca tape Extreme Hold.